Welcome back, and thank you again, guys, for joining us. So just before we went to break and before we took that last call, I wanted to let you guys know that the show is open to all ministers and department heads. Anybody want to call and give us a progress report. It's been the first quarter of this administration, and I think in a real democracy we should have that. We should have ministers coming on the shows and telling us and giving us update, you know. But I got to hold the people accountable. It's up to you. We elect people who speak to us and talk down to us and not listen to us and listen to our suggestions. And the bottom line is, if you want real representation, you got to demand it. You got to go out and say to the ministers, and you got to come on these shows and tell us what's going on. You got to bring the people along. We can't have no ministers in this country just pushing things down our throat and telling us it's the best thing for us without having a conversation. If you don't have a conversation with the people, then you shouldn't listen to them when they come preaching to you about new terms and new elections and about big grand ideas. So the show's open. The show's open to any minister. So I want the callers to know that the show is open. We've been trying. I've been trying to get people on this show from different government departments, and they keep saying, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. I don't know what they're waiting on. Well, the election, the date for election just passed. I believe it was November 6th. If I'm wrong, correct me. So we should know something. There should be some progress.
Yeah, good evening. You're re-speaking mine. Go ahead, please. Good evening.
Good evening, Courtney. Sam and Ben.
Yeah. Talk to us.
You alluded to what took place in relation to the last government under the former Minister of Communication and Works. That he took the whole idea of having officers being put on the street to enforce the whole issue, more in particular to taxi drivers breaking the law and what have you. The thing is, Sam, is that breaking the law is the police business. Okay? Once you break the law, the police has a responsibility to deal with this. You alluded to the idea that the two opposition members at the time rejected the whole idea of putting the officers on the road. You're wondering...
No. Hold on, Colin. Not on the road. Under the ministry. Under the Ministry of Communication and Work. One said that was too much power for the office of the ministry. That was the problem.
So are you saying they work for it but just not under the ministry?
Exactly. So therefore a committee was set up to go and re-examine the whole thing, and nothing never came after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Under the ministry, not on the road. Let's
Thank you for that correction.
Yeah.
But, you know, long and short of it, all I wanted to make the point that all of these things that is being done wrong on the road, as it relates to traffic, it's the police business. I just wanted to make that clear.
But we have to also look at the logistics of what you are saying, because the police traffic department is how many? How many officers? How many officers?
I have no idea.
It's very small.
Yeah, it's not much.
It's very small.
Well, we got to do what is necessary. If we need more officers, get more officers.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
But the law must be enforced.
I agree with you.
And we shouldn't be finding excuse as to why the law is not being enforced.
I agree with you.
I want to move a little further, Courtney and Sam, and to address the situation of these little motorbikes. Courtney, you probably may know.
You know, before we continue on that, I was trying to get a bike to bring on the show tonight, but I didn't get it to bring. I really wanted to bring a bike and have it here on the show. But go ahead.
You probably may know the reason as to why the government of the day suggested or came up with the whole idea of a 125cc motorbike
No. Let me stop you right. No, not at all. I was away when this happened, and I'm just like you. I'm curious to know or to find out what was the reason. I have my own personal opinions or thoughts that I've heard people speak about. One was noise, and the other one was speeding, and you know, I don't think any of those things have changed. I think I still have noise on the road, and I still think people speed. They speed in cars. They speed on bikes. So I don't know. I don't know the reason why it was changed to 125. But in political wisdom or legislative wisdom, I guess it was changed.
Those two suggestions that you made, they suggest it could have been that. I thought of those two ideas too, of it being speed and noise. Because you remember in the past we have had a couple of deaths here in relation to those big bikes.
Yes.
And it seems to me, whether big or small, they're still dying.
It still died. That's right.
So I am concerned as to really what is the reason. However, whatever the reason is, what is plaguing me right now is the noise these little bikes are making. You seemingly making more noise than the big bikes. It seems to me that these young guys are taking a start and sign off the muffler or something, are putting out some silencer. I don't know what it is they're doing. But you stand on this side of the road, or sometimes in a building with the windows open and try to have a conversation on one of them pass. It actually cuts you off. You have to shut up and wait until the pass. I mean, come on. We shouldn't accept this. Here it comes to enforcement again. How could these guys be running around with these noisy little bikes and there's no enforcement? How are we allowing them to do? How are we allowing them to disturb the community like this and not do anything about it? So, another enforcement issue. One more thing I'll talk about, and is in relation to a guy I picked up on the street the other day. I transported a guy the other day, and he said he was coming from the hospital. Well, not really a hospital, but he came in from dialysis. He actually came from dialysis.
Okay.
And I could see that he had something on his mind. I said, man, you look a bit worried. What's up? He said, man, this whole dialysis thing that I'm going to, it got me worried because more so, I just found out that somebody just whispered me and tell me that, do you know that these couple of weeks gone since you've been going for your treatment, do you know there's a specific medication that it's supposed to be in that treatment and it's absent from that treatment? He said, what are you talking about? He said, yes. He said there's a specific treatment that's supposed to be used and they're out of it for a couple of weeks now and you're being treated without it. And he said, well, he can't accept that. He has to go and find out what's going on. And whoever he asked told him it is the truth. And they have it on order for weeks now. And up to now, he can't reach. So he said, my brother, if you're here between now and whenever I get worse or I die, it's because the treatment that was given wasn't treated the way I should have been treated. And when I heard that, that's sad. I spoke to somebody the other day, just about 2 days after I saw the guy, about the same situation. And they said basically, from what they understand, is that they don't have any money.
Well, I think I saw something to the effect that they might have been out of, a certain amount of the usual budgeted amount of money. I think I saw that online somewhere as well. So that may be the reason. But I am like you. I am saddened to hear that because I know of the situation and I know how critical it is for the patients to receive their dialysis.
I am really feeling bad about that situation because let's face it, none of us know where we're going to reach there.
That's true.
None of us know. And if this is what who is there is faced with by a serious scale as to, well, by if I have to end up there, what will happen to me? You know, it's a major concern. And I'm really worried about it. I don't know what the situation is. I don't know the whole depth of it. But it's something to look into. It's something to be, concerned about. Thank you.
All right. right. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Carl. I also like to remind you though that in the past we've always had a situation where the hospital services have been without funds for or the funds that is allocated to them and the day-to-day operations seem to not match up. But we'll talk more about that. Good evening. You speak your mind. Go right ahead, please.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, if the people who is on dialysis, they pay the bill, that wouldn't happen.
The bill, when you say pay the bill, I understand that in some cases the bill is like more than 20,000.
Yes, but if you pay little by little, it will come down. But if you're not paying anything at all, that's what is taking place. So you can't be blaming the government for that.
But you really think some of those people could pay?
A hospital cannot run without.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, that a hospital cannot run without funds. Okay.
Right.
But I'm also saying you understand that in some cases the expense for 1 week. For 1 week for dialysis service is beyond most of the people who are on the dialysis system.
Yes, I understand that. I understand what you're trying to say. But if you're not paying anything at all, the innocent don't suffer for the guilty.
Okay. And I guess that's a government policy. That's a policy that the government will have to take.
No, but we cannot continue with saying government. What happened to us who are in the country? When are we going to live up to our own responsibility? When we go to other hospitals, we have to pay the forget service.
There's in some countries they have certain services that are free. If you want to be a capitalist, you're going to make everybody pay for everything. If you're going to be a semi-socialist, you might want to include some things for free for some people. In some countries, elderly people travel on the train and on the buses for free. We have to make up our mind what we want to be. If we want to be greedy capitalists, we could be greedy capitalists.
I understand that too.
Okay.
In America, you see that.
In where?
In America.
They have different things. From state to state, there's a lot of differences.
Yes, but
They just legalized marijuana in 2 states in America.
3.
It's 3? Oh, sorry. Thanks for correcting me. No, but you see the point I'm making, right? Is democracy is a very wide thing, It's very wide, and we as a country need to decide what kind of democracy we want to have. We already have free education at the tertiary level for the young people, which is a good thing, and which is something that could be tweaked to be better. And we have to continue to try to be better. We can't continue to try to not be better. Do you agree?
I agree with what you're saying. Yes.
Something I would like to see us do is senior citizens should be able to travel through the Virgin Islands for free. I would like to see something like that. I see it in Trinidad.
But they do.
They do?
Yes.
No, they don't. You're saying that if you live on Virgin Gorda or Anegada, you could come here for free? No.
You have to be a certain age. At what age make you a senior citizen?
I think it's 65.
Okay. That's enough?
If that's a lot?
Yes.
As far as Social Security is concerned.
Oh. But a lot of people don't even want people to know that they're 65. So
That's true. That's true. Well, I feel for them because that's golden age. And while you're on that topic, we've changed our laws, our tax laws, to the point where there's no difference if you're married or you're single. Before you could have filed jointly. We're doing some things in a country that are affecting some social issues, and we need to address them. You bring up a very important one, whether or not we should be paying or some or half or quarter or some formula. Maybe somebody needs to come up with a formula.
That's true.
And it should.
They do ask them to do that,
Sorry?
They do ask them to do that.
Okay.
But the people that don't want to pay for no kind of treatment at all.
Well, That's a problem. That's a serious problem.
They can't blame the minister. They can't blame the government.
I ain't blaming anybody. Believe you me, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying we need to talk about it.
Okay. Good night, sir.
Well, thanks a lot
Good
for calling.
Yes, Sam, some of the things that we have in this community that need fixing, no one person can fix it. We need to open up a dialogue and start to talk about these things, and then everything should be in the open. You know, it shouldn't be all this secrecy.
Well, Courtney, I got some ideas to help generate funds to help pay for some of these social issues, but it's going to be controversial, so I'll leave it alone.
Okay.
But all I want to say to the caller that called before that young lady is that, you know, when it relates to law enforcement, the police to me, and I want the police to know that I think they're doing a good job. I have no problem with the police, even when they do come down on me myself if I'm breaking the law. I quick to pull my ID and give it to them, because I don't mind giving the government or the system a little fund to help them out. So I don't mind. If I'm breaking the law, do what you got to do, but be across the board. That's all I'm asking. But my whole thing about enforcement when it relates to traffic is that it wouldn't have been a bad idea to have specific officers who are assigned to certain areas within the traffic department to alleviate the stress or the strain on the police department, because the police department, they're limited. Or even if you want to add more to traffic that can have a specific task, you have traffic officers that deal with school zones and so forth, no problem. At the end of the day, you need other officers to cover other areas of the city, so we need more.
Good evening, you're free speaking, Marion. Go right ahead, please.
Yes, good night.
Good night.
I just see an ad on the television there pertaining the digital service that coming in sometime soon.
Okay.
I have a question to ask that if they notify the public what kind of service they're having. Because in some of the countries that have the same digital service, I believe it can be the same thing, that it's not, if you have like 15, 20 stations that you're paying for, sometimes you get 5 things or 3 things the same on different like channels, like 1 to 3 channels get the same thing, 4, 5 sometimes get the same thing. So I want to know if it's the same company and if it's the same system going to happen here. Because I observed that things just changing to the customer here and nobody in. The customer don't have no voice, no say, no, like they have nobody. Even in the private sector, maybe nobody have no say.
Okay.
Whatever they give to you, you just have to just take it like you have no choice.
Like you sound like you're referring to television service?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm not even aware of that, so I guess I have to look into it to see if I could find some more information on it for you. Yeah.
Because it's on the TV and it's showing up there. I heard about it, I ain't seen nothing, but
Okay.
I just saw the channel, I see it.
But you're so correct, because I even think, this is my own thoughts now, I even think that the TRC, the regulatory authority that deals with telecommunication, TV, and etc. I think that they should put out, even a fact sheet that says what the services are being offered by all the carriers and how and what the differences are. I think that's my opinion. You have more than one carrier, and they all have the marketing departments doing various things. But we the people, we the consumers,
Yes, we're paying it for them to be here.
we're the ones who need to know the difference
Right,
in the various programs and plans.
right.
But that's not happening.
That ain't happening.
No.
But when even in certain countries in the Caribbean where they have the office set up with the digital service, right? That not you getting the full service in different channels. They can get in the same tree in different in different channels. They can number 2 and they flip it.
I
It's
understand.
the same thing, get it?
I understand what you're saying.
You understand me?
Yes.
I want to know if it's the same thing will happen here.
Okay, that's a good comment to ask.
Right, because you have to pay the same money for, you're supposed to get 50 channels if you're paying for it. When you're looking, you're getting 25, the same thing.
And Carla, while you're on it too, we're the ones, we're the consumers, we're the ones who are supposed to report when we're not getting services from any of the carriers. But a lot of us don't.
But sis, I mean, sorry, sis, brother, when they changed the GTCell to this other company, how the people know? And when they give us whatever they want, you understand me?
Yeah.
People calling, and nobody is stealing help and somebody ain't do nothing. They still do what they want, right? For
Okay.
instance, there are a lot of, I answer because, you know, this nation is a religious nation too, right?
Yes.
And most of the Christian service program, they cut it out, right? In the GTCell service that they are bringing here, which I know that they're cutting out everyone. So tell me what we really watching, who want to watch something, especially the elder people and then we like to switch on and hear something gospel in the ears.
Well, I think that I agree with you that maybe the people should be involved in whatever decision making that's going on with the telecommunication, and like we were saying earlier, we have an open show, and we would definitely encourage, you know, anyone in authority who wants to come and speak on these type of issues to come and speak to the people, because this is the media, this is an appropriate place to speak
For
to the
them to
people.
come and sit home.
Yes.
So when you see them, challenge them first, please. You tell them, if you're a voter, you tell them that you're a voter, and you demand that they go on the shows and explain to you what's going on, because obviously you're searching for information.
Yeah.
Right, because it just soon they will be coming. That they need, we stop it there. But
No.
also the people that who giving them the license, right?
That's the same people we're talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and next thing I want to say quickly coming up now, that one thing really bothering me is that even though you raise certain things like visa, passport, and so on, sometimes I know there are times that you have to put on a little do a raise, right?
Yes.
But really challenge me is a big jump from $25 they used to pay for visa going to $125.
I hear what you're saying, but I heard other people saying that they didn't have any jump for the last 20 years. So, you know, it's a balancing act.
Even though you don't have a job for 20 years,
Yeah.
you have to, listen to me, you have to consider when you're doing things, even though that you have to consider the rate and the money that they're getting, the salary.
Yes. I agree.
You pray for something that you ain't getting any salary to pay for it. You have to wait until 2 months before you could go for it.
I understand what you're saying, and I sympathize with you.
I have to use a visa, but I just...
No, but I know you're speaking on behalf of the people who have to deal with it. I'm sympathizing with those people as well. That's what I'm saying.
And quickly, and also, I'm like the people to really regard to wherever the child born and now to born here to really straighten up that point, because sooner or later
It's going to come home.
The people, some government going to lock up some of the people that who going back home with the children. They put them in jail because you cannot, because forgery. I don't care what they say. That is forgery.
That is forgery, yes.
When you born here, you have to put on your paper form that it depends from Guyana, your Guyanese. They will lock up the parents and them. And the other one, if the people islanders go in St. Thomas and they born the child, they born it in the state, they put it in Antarctica.
No, but I said on the show from one time before, this is the British Nationality Act problem that we're dealing with, and we can't sit here and try to solve it, because it's bigger than this. We have to solve it. We have to.
preach it and you ban. But
We have to
people
solve
here,
it at that level.
Yeah, but also the people, the government here, whoever, need to stand up, just it, not just stay. Because if you ban Chinese preach it, you can't say ban to Atola.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, anyway, we have another call on the line. So thank you very much for your input. All right. Yeah, Sam. I think one of these days we're going to definitely have to get somebody come on the show to talk a bit about the British Nationality Act, just for the amount of times we have to answer the question about it. Good evening. You're free to speak your mind. Go right ahead, please.
I would like to say, Sam and Courtney, good evening.
Good evening.
And support what Sam said. I think our police department here does an incredible job for what they have to work with. And I would also like to say that our hospital staff and our nurses and doctors do an incredible job for what they have to do with, and people should not be criticizing them.
Thank you.
Well, let's just throw in all the other uniform people, because we have a lot of uniform people that does a good job.
That. All those people are responsible for keeping us all safe and sound.
Okay.
I have a question, because you might know, but I haven't got any insight into this. When are we moving into the new hospital, one? And two, whatever happened to refurbishing and rebuilding the Roadtown Police Department?
Okay, the first one we got from Honorable Skelton that in 18 months the project should be completed. So that was said, I think, maybe about 2 months ago. So we're believing that in 18 months we should hear, or we should have some resolution to that part of the project. So I believe it's possible. It's only been building for 14 years. We should be able to bring it to some sort of a conclusion. Sam, as usual, we've been asked to take a break for the sponsors that make the show possible. So we're going to take a break and we're going to be right back.
Yo, you ain't checking for me no more, man. What going on?
Girl, you're right, man. Things rough right now and ain't getting no better. I gotta cut back how things so expensive.
Wait, you ain't hear Digicel giving away some serious credit? With Digicel, when you top up by $15, you will get $100 free credit. I mean, that's 100 anytime Digicel minutes, free chat all weekend long to your Digicel friends, and unlimited text to any network.
Wow! Now with Digicel, I can save and we can party some more.
Party Rock is in the house tonight.
Your credit lasts longer with Digicel. Now that's something worth partying about.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So, of course, the conversation is good, it's hot. I want to thank the lady that just called last. I want to support what she's saying. I want to let her know that, the last minister before the one we have now, before Mr. Simmons, the one before when he came earlier in the year, a question was posed to him about the same situation about the British Nationality Act. So what Courtney is saying is the 1982 British Nationality Act that's hampering, our kids, giving them recognition to the fact that they're citizen. We'll get back to that in a minute.
Yeah, good evening. You're free to speak your mind. Go right ahead, please. Good evening.
Good evening. On the air?
Yes, you're live on air.
You want to be on air?
Okay. Yes, I want to be on the air. I just called in with a burning issue. My question is, cruise port development. What's really going on? I read in the newspaper the other day about Royal Caribbean have an input on it, and still Tortola port partners and development on the cruise ship. So you guys could shed any light of anything that you know that I don't know on this cruise development?
Well, I could tell you what I know. I know there's two parties involved. I know Tatola Pair Partners is one, and I heard that Royal Caribbean also is the other partners. And I would challenge the government to, the same energy, enthusiasm that they had in the beginning when they were trying to sell us one partner, and before they were told to go ahead and tender this thing. Now we have two parties, and from what I know of Royal Caribbean, I've seen Tatola Pair Partners hand. I know exactly what they were offering, and I didn't support it, and I could say that loud and clear. But I would definitely love to see, before I say anything about Royal Caribbean, but knowing what I know about Royal Caribbean, let me be clear, I'm not supporting Royal Caribbean. I'm simply saying I haven't seen the plan, but from what I know of Royal Caribbean, I know they got 20-something ships. I know they got very expensive ships. I know they got cheap ships. I know they can carry thousands of people a day. If you put all their ships on the water and put all the people in it, it's almost 100,000+ people. I know they have the two biggest ships on the ocean. And I looked at the government request for tender. And if you look at that request for tender, it was on the Ministry of Finance website. Royal Caribbean, in my judgment, will probably suit the BVI and fulfill all the requirements that they were asking for. And for what I hear from the horse's mouth themselves is that the plan is sweet. They said it's sweet. But again, ladies and gentlemen and newspaper writers, I haven't seen the plan. I'm simply saying I would love to see the plan, and I think it's only right that the people have a fair chance to see the plan themselves, examine it before any decision is being made. Because again and again, the representatives are representing the people, and the people must decide. You know, we were told that nobody else had an interest, and now we hear that Royal Caribbean. As a matter of fact, the minister himself said there was more than two, but they narrowed down to two. And the two is Tatola Pair Partners. We already seen what they have to offer, and then we haven't seen what Royal Caribbean have to offer. But when you look at what Royal Caribbean has been doing around the Caribbean, you know, dropping $200 million in Jamaica, Port Falmouth. They drop, I heard, over $300 million in Haiti, you know, and then they talking about dropping another $400 million inside Barbados to put in four fingers in Barbados and turn Barbados into a South American international hub. I would say that the deals look sweet, so it would be nice to see what exactly Royal Caribbean is offered. But for me, most importantly, is that the government said they're going to make a decision pretty soon. We should know we should know what's going on with that. But I would encourage you, caller, and the rest of the folks out there watching, that they should pressure the government and talk to the ministers them that the people deserve the same opportunity to see the plan from Royal Caribbean the same way they did a big presentation to show us the other guy plan.
Well, that's the question I was going to ask, but you answered everything for me there, right there. So that's enough. You answered everything, because that was my next question. Will Royal Caribbean get a chance to show the BVI their proposal? And you just alluded to that as well. So I think you answered everything for me just in that whole statement.
Well, I mean, I didn't want you to waste a lot of time asking a lot of questions, so I'd like to just answer one time.
But caller, I just want to say something that you and our viewers may become cognizant about as well. Haiti had a real rough time. They had a hurricane, earthquake, all kind of stuff, and being devastated. Haiti is getting good treatment as far as cruise tourism is concerned, as far as development money, real serious money. Haiti also has a zip line, one of the largest zip lines in the area. This is all tourism tied together. We here in the territory need to stop playing.
But the catch-all thing is about looking out for the people that's in this industry as well. You understand? We're looking out for the taxi drivers, we're looking out for the vendors, we're looking out for everybody in a fair play, not just looking out for the ships alone. You understand what I'm saying? Because if I could remember Tatola Port Partners, I think that actually they were looking out just for the cruise industry, but for themselves. You understand what I'm saying? So I would like to see a fair game in this industry for everyone, and not just for the cruise ship itself and just the to making money. It's all about the residents of the BVI as well.
But Carla, listen, any national development, any kind of development that the government decides to go ahead with has to have a trickle-down component to it. Trickle-down meaning that not only does the government collects their tax, which it makes a lot of sense, that at the end of the day, that every single, as much as possible, every single industry within the BVI territory, we could try to touch them with some form of stimulation. You understand?
Right.
So if you're gonna develop something, you weigh the two massive development we're talking about bringing into the country: the airport, the cruise ship. The airport, some people are against it. I am not against the airport. I am for the airport 100%. And my simple reason is that if I drop 1 million people at the airport tomorrow, they're not gonna stay there. They have to go someplace. They have to go to a charter company. They have to go to a hotel. They're going away from the airport, which tells me somewhere along the line to their journey to their next stop, more than one person will be stimulated. That's an economy for me that I want to be a part of. If you're going to give me a cruise ship development where you're now creating a new tongue away from the tongue, I don't care what you tell me. If you're not putting money up front to help develop the tongue immediately, then you're not doing any justice. If you're just gonna build to stimulate everything in one spot, it's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time. We want to develop the whole area as well.
And we want to make sure that all our small men, not just taxi drivers, it's beyond taxi drivers. It's the entire.
And that's why I said everyone.
So thank you a lot for the call. We do have another call on the line.
All right, thanks.
Go ahead and send a call to. But Courtney, I do want to touch that British Nationality Act before we get that next call. Oh, here we are.
Good evening, you're free speaking mind. Go right ahead, please. Good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, how are you?
Man, yeah, so busy to take the wrong time to the phone.
It's everybody wants to talk tonight.
Yes. I hear one of the last call, and on the call, so I didn't know what happened. But, we talk about the cruise, the thing with Royal Caribbean and the other thing. One of the things that I would love to see, and I think that we need to press the government to do it, because we just signed, Courtney, we just signed a thing with what we call the super car. What is that thing called?
That is in the next 3 years we have to save $50 million.
No, not the money saved, but comfortability there.
That's all part of it.
Okay, what I would like to see is we have two companies on the lineup. We had one before. We pulled back. And now we have two companies bidding for the project. The government needs to come public to the people and give each one of the companies a chance to forward what they propose.
Of course.
And then give the public a chance to say which one we want.
Of course.
And I think that would be fair and balanced to the public and to the country. So when the public decide what they want, the government could feel good about what they choose.
Of course.
Give us a chance to look at the both things.
Of course.
Which one is the best that's suitable. And I think y'all need to rally that strongly to the government.
Not us. Not us, Carla. You, the public, you.
Need to do it.
Yes. The voting public.
You need to do it.
The voting public. That's why you put representatives to represent.
But Carla, that is part of the same protocol you're talking about. You know, the protocol says that there should be no project that the people are not in agreement with.
With this one saying, you guys need to push it from the airways. That's what I'm saying, from the airways. Give people a chance to voice more about it. What people think, whether we should do it or we should not do it, or let it go and make it through.
But you know, the alternative is to have have the United Kingdom approve the budget. That's the alternative.
To approve the budget?
That's the alternative. If our country refuse to follow the protocol, that is what will happen.
No, but I think what really the essence of that is we have to do our budget, but England have to see our budget before we approve it, which is because of the situation you're in. Because England is saying to you, what you're doing, if you can't pay, we got to pay. So therefore you got to give accountability for how you're doing your business. And we need to know a little more, which is only fair. we go independent.
Yeah, but Carla, the budget is not the issue. The issue is that the UK is asking that any kind of major development that you get ready to go indulge yourself or engage yourself in, is that there must be some fair bidding process to get true value for money.
Yep.
That's all they're asking. So what you're saying, to be on point, is that here it is, after England now said to these guys, stop for a second because you haven't done what the protocol called for, whether you start the idea of not before or not, you now have to do it. So now that they've done it, we now have two major players. And again, side by side, without knowing what Royal Caribbean plans are or what they have for the country, we know what the other guy hand was. We seen his hand.
That plan changed.
Well, if it changed, the people need to know why it changed too.
No, I do agree. We need to have it come to the public where they want one day for one company, the other day for another company. Give the people a chance to look at both of them and see what they're saying, and let the people decide whether we're going to go forward with which one.
So, Carla, who you think should do this? You think the company should do it, or you think the government should do it?
No, the government is the one who leads the state. The government is the eyes and ears and the voice for us.
That's right.
So if the government is the eyes and the ears for us, they got to give the people a choice of what they think is best for their country. Sometimes there's decision where the government got to make decisions for us up front. But there's certain decision where the people need to have a voice in how to make that decision. So I think this one needs to have the people involved. Bring it to the people. Let the people see both of them. Let them present what they think they have for us and to move forward to make it better for us. And then let we decide from there. You're going to choose a Wednesday, one each will get the turn to present themselves. But I'm saying from the talk show, from the TV show, y'all need to push it. You don't need to get involved in what you're doing. Just push the issue that people get a more understanding of what really happened.
You want to get a talk show, hold them Carter, but this is a people's thing, the voting public. As long as you call about the issue, we will try to address it. But I want to just let you know that you're right. The Minister for Natural Resources and Labor is responsible for the development of the airport. And before anything was done, he went through the entire process. He had community meetings. He showed us 7 plans. They decided on one. They told us why. They gave us the reason for those. And it's up to us to decide whether or not we think that's the best plan for the country. And that's what we're asking for with this cruise ship development plan. It's as simple as that.
Well, I do agree with you, but all I'm saying is from the media point of view, push the issue in the sense of giving people a hit to talk about it, to speak, and then they kind of know how they feel. Because people sometimes, you don't know, because of these airways and stuff that you guys are out there, people will voice their opinion. Sometimes, otherwise, people won't really voice their opinion, but things like that will just silence.
Okay.
So give people a chance to talk about it.
Definitely.
And we need to continue every week from here until when the government understands what we say.
All right, Carla, we got to wrap up.
Thank you. We got to wrap up, though.
Thank you so much.
All right. Yeah, so Sam, we had a pretty interesting show. We started out talking about road traffic. We were into Tourism Month. We were into the problems of water and sewage over on Virgin Gorda. We understand that that's a burning issue still. We understand that the taxi commission, we had questions about how the taxi commission is being handled since it's under new leadership. We had some other tourism challenges to talk about. We talked about the fact that the wardens, or the fact that we still don't have wardens trying to handle the traffic situation that were proposed before. We also went on to talk a bit about the dialysis machines at a hospital. We were able to talk a bit about that. We talked about the new services that may be coming on stream from Digicel. We got a number of texts about some of the things we were talking about as well. We always are, very excited to have the type of communication we have with the viewers out there, whether it's calling or texting. And last, we had a good, interesting call about the cruise pair, whether or not Royal Caribbean and the other group are going to, really come forward and show the public what they're proposing. Sam, we're out of time. We had a very good show. Any last words you want to leave with the public?
Yeah, Courtney, I'm going to be real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to display local talent at work. This is from a young lady. Her name is Ishmit. Kishmet. 540-4218, 542-4218. This young lady is very talented. The Buy BVI Expo is coming up. This young lady does a lot of stuff. If you want to start maybe thinking about creating your own business locally, out of recycled stuff. This is recycled material. This is something you put on your feet. You go in the water with it and it protects your feet. So start supporting local whenever you can, however you can. So 540-4218. Call her up, sit down with her, put together some ideas. You guys work on it together. Some of you Craft for Life people that are going in there right now, you can start putting BVI on things like this, and you know, it'd be great for the BVI. So with that said, I just want to say thank you for tuning in as usual tonight. You guys were awesome. Keep calling, keep raising the concerns. That's how we're going to get things done. We're going to get things done because as a voting public, the politicians them have to listen to us. With that said, good night.
Yeah. Well, Sam, on that I would say God bless these Virgin Islands and the people that live in it, and we'll see you again next week.